Hello, hello. Hey everyone. Welcome. Hello everyone who's joining. Very good to see you. We're gonna wait until more people come in and through, but it's amazing to see everyone here. Just gonna wait a few seconds for more people to come through. And I believe Dr. Princey and Dr. Nihesh will be joining us shortly as well. It's amazing to see everyone here. And yeah, we'll be getting sort of started pretty soon.
Hi, good evening,
Good
Ryan and
evening.
Ayush.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, actually, where I can see the participants, like here, like when.
Yeah, so you should be able to see everyone on the left-hand side. I'm not quite sure if it looks like this on your screen. I'll send it over to.
Okay, one sec, only one join, then only I think I can see.
Okay, so just waiting for a few more people to come in here and we'll get started. But yeah, for now, um, feel free to share this webinar with your friends and peers. We'll be getting started pretty soon here. We're going to go through how we can go from ideating our research to fully making a publishable paper inside of AnswerThis. And yeah, we're super excited to show you how you can use this free platform in order to adjust your research, find the right papers, and do things like make entire literature reviews. So we'll be jumping into it very shortly, but for now, yeah, just stay tuned. We're just going to wait here for more people to come in. There should be maybe 50 more and we'll get started. In the meantime, however, I will be posting a link into the Q&A section. First of all, feel free to say hi to everyone else in the webinar in the Q&A section, as well as feel free to sign up to AnswerThis here in order to make sure that you can follow along when we do the actual demo of AnswerThis, and so you can get signed up there and get started for free as well. Just whilst everyone's coming in the last few minutes here, make sure to sign up to AnswerThis through the link in the Q&A section. Good evening, Indra. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm unable to see you. It's showing an empty screen. It should be able to show through shortly. If you're using mobile phone, you also might find it helpful to download the Soho app in order to follow along. But if you don't see me now, you should see me shortly, especially when we share screen, and if the answer or if the difficulties still remain, definitely let me know. Good evening, Shreya, how are you? Awesome. More people are constantly coming in here, and yeah, we'll be getting started in just a few seconds. Just a quick reminder again, please go to the Q&A section in order to sign up to answer this. I've dropped a link in there. If you go through that page, whilst we're waiting just for the last 25 people to join, please go to that link, sign up to answer this there. We'll be able to follow along a lot more easier once you're signed up. So yeah, feel free to sign up through there and let me know. When will we get a certificate? You will get it at the end of the webinar. Just follow along. Sign up to answer this to ensure that you receive your certificate. That's how we know we'll be sending them out. Just sign up to answer this through the link, and you'll get your certificate at the end of the webinar. Awesome. So just a few more here. I'm going to get up our presentation. Awesome. It's great to see everyone, by the way. Good morning to Fanch. Very good morning to you, or good evening. It's India. It's evening down there in India. I'm actually in California at the minute, so it's actually just morning for us. But good evening to everyone in India right now. So is it beneficial to put this certificate on LinkedIn? Yeah, it's a great way to show that you have competency in a modern technology that will genuinely help you take your research from the ideation stage all the way up to editing and refining. You know, AI is a technology that's going to be staying with us, and actually seeing how you can use helpful AI that can genuinely put the needle forward. It's going to be wildly beneficial to you just moving forward, whether it's with AnswerThis and in the future. It's going to be great to know these skills moving forward into your academic career or wherever you may be. Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Anisha. Great to see you. This session will be roughly about 15 minutes once we get started here. Just waiting for a few more seconds for the final people to come through. Okay. See. Co-organizer. Printy. Make you co-organizer. Okay, perfect. Well, I think everyone else is going to come in throughout the webinar session here. Normally we see most people come in through this point anyways. So yeah, we're going to get started here. The webinar is recorded. The recording will be sent out to everyone alongside the certificates as well. Please be sure to sign up to answer this through the link in the Q&A section. I'm going to upload it into there one more time before we get started here. But yeah, Dr. Priyanka, I'm not quite sure why you may not be seeing me right now. Maybe try and restart the webinar. That may help. If not, when we share screen here, hopefully that will show, because that's going to be the most helpful point. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen here.
Yes, Ryan, before starting this, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So before starting this, I'll just introduce you and Ayush and what all you will be talking about. So I'll discuss that, then you can start with it. So
Sounds great. Yeah.
yeah. So good evening to all. So today with us two founder and co-founders, Ayush Garg and Ryan. So they're from US, and they have developed this AnswerThis tools. We already have like many tools we can see for research, but I find this is the best tool which we can use for our research. Not only we can do literature survey and all, also we can find out the research gap also using this tool. And also recently they have added one more feature. You can incorporate LaTeX template also into this. Of course, Mendeley we have, Zotero we have, so we can also integrate this LaTeX template. And also there are many features. You can also draw the flow charts, flow diagram also using this tool. So today they will be discussing few features like especially how to find the research gap, and also one more two or three features. So later we can have individual webinars, like suppose if anyone wants to work on the literature review, we can have a dedicated webinar on that. And also if someone wants to on research gap, how to find the research gap, also if they want to integrate this tool with other features, so we'll be having dedicated webinars also related to that. So today, this is just an overview how we can use this AnswerThis and what all features we have, which other tools don't have it. So now we'll start with this webinar. So now I'll ask Ryan to take on this session.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Princey. That was a great breakdown of what's to come as well. Super excited to show you that new update. Like you mentioned, and then also, yeah, everything from finding research gaps to editing papers and making literature reviews. Super excited to dive in here. Yeah, and thank you both, Dr. Princey and Dr. Nihesh, for hosting this webinar. It's an absolute opportunity for us, and we really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get started with the presentation. So this is just going to go over how researchers are increasing their productivity using AI, and the whole point of this is to help you not fall behind and get ahead of everyone who's not taking advantage of these technologies, and also find out how we can integrate AI into research whilst maintaining academic integrity. So here's an outline of everything that we're going to go through today. This is going to be recorded, so if you're just joining the session in now, don't worry. All of this will be recorded afterwards, but you've also just came in at the best time, since we're just getting started. So starting off, at the start of any research journey, the first thing we want to find is research gaps. Now, traditionally, this is done by searching papers. Maybe it's through like Google Scholar, the old way, where it takes really long. We take all those papers, we read through them, we compare the papers together, and we try to find the research gaps that were either explicitly or implicitly mentioned within those papers. However, now with AnswerThis, and as you can see on the right-hand side, we can see that we have tools to specifically find research gaps, and these are backed with citations, so you can see the exact papers that the research gaps were found from. And we can also use other tools within AnswerThis to find research gaps as well, which we will see later in the demo. But much more efficient way than previously, when we had to almost do guesswork as well as go through all the papers. Now we can see those papers that we need immediately, as well as the research gaps within them. Next is the paper search itself. So, as I mentioned before, typically we have to use platforms like Google Scholar or maybe PubMed, where we have to put in lots of different filters in order to try and find the actual paper that we need. However, for me at least, this can take a long time, especially Google Scholar. I find myself sitting there fiddling about with filters trying to get it right. But with AnswerThis, we can actually just go to the paper search and put in a prompt, as we would maybe GPT, or just a simple question prompt or some keywords in there. And immediately we'll be able to scan through 250 million research papers within our open databases and find the exact paper we need through AnswerThis's proprietary technology. And yeah, on the right hand side, you can see what one of these papers would look like as well. Next, Now, this is something that can actually be helpful even outside of AnswerThis, and it is citation maps. So this can be done by hand, technically, by noting down the papers, seeing where they cite to, where they connect, and sort of mapping them out. And that's super helpful for researchers and something that perhaps you can even utilize more. However, AnswerThis actually does this fully within the tool itself, and it looks exactly like the right hand side here, where you put a paper into the source and then you're able to automatically see the top connecting papers, the top contributing authors, as well as the most cited papers within that research topic that you're going after. Next is the thesis statement. Quite a daunting task where we want to lay out the limitations, the debates, the findings of the papers we found up to this point. It's also where we want to sort of put down a roadmap to what our actual paper or essay or literature review is actually going to be about. And it's a super vital point for how the rest of your paper is going to be structured as you're putting it all out there. Luckily, again, with AnswerThis, we're able to do this very seamlessly, as well as build out our draft thesis statement with line-by-line citations. So we're able to see where those limitations, findings all coming from. What can our actual paper or literature review look like from the thesis statement onwards? And with AnswerThis, we're able to get a really nice draft where we can see the papers, or we can put in our own papers and make this thesis statement immediately and then expand from there. And talking about expanding, this is the research outline as well. On the right hand side, this is a little bit of the AI editing tool, and so you can see some of the features that are on there, but we'll go a little bit more into that soon. But for now, one of the things that you can do inside of this is make a full research outline. And as you can see, you can put in your topic, in this case, what makes up a neutron, and then you can make a description where you can go as in-depth as possible. For me personally, when I was doing my research, in the description section, I told it to make a timeline. I asked it to tell me what I need in order to do a survey that I can use to support my research, and really just give me everything I needed in order to flesh out my research and make something that's genuinely publishable. And this tool did so much for me to get that research paper fleshed out, and also a great place for you to maybe put in your thesis statement and start making more ideas as well. Next is the literature review. This is actually the first tool that AnswerThis ever had, and it's the tool that we're most famous for. And that's because we do it so comprehensively and unlike any tool that you would have ever seen before. So typically with literature reviews, you skim the studies that you find up to this point, and you get familiar with the methods, the findings, and the theoretical approaches that all of these papers use. And we want to group similar ideas together, identify themes, and really start fleshing out our literature review. And with AnswerThis, we can do this all with one prompt. We're able to filter the exact sources that we need. We're able to filter the quality of sources that are used, as well as the start date. We can use web-based sources or patents if we really wanted to as well. And there's so much more that we can do with the filters in order to make the exact literature review that we need. And this is something that you can do with the free version of AnswerThis immediately whilst we go throughout the demo section. So definitely stay tuned for that. Next is the data extraction. And this is actually one of my favorite tools, and another way that we can extract research gaps as well as so much more from papers that we either find in AnswerThis or papers that we upload into AnswerThis. And so, normally we have to manually log each study, and we have to actually read through the paper and find the exact piece of detail that we want to extract from that paper in order to put into a table. But as you can see with AnswerThis on the right hand side here, we're able to extract things like research gaps, contributions. We're also able to extract methodology, future work, limitations of the papers that are either in our literature review or that we upload or that are in our library. It's a super powerful way to get lots of information from papers fast and sort of see where they connect and get a lot of great insights from them. Next, like I said before, of the AI editing section, this is a little bit more clearly of what it looks like. And this is just going to be like your typical, I guess, Word or Microsoft editor, but with powerful features on the right-hand side. And as you can see here, you can make your own custom prompt, you can reword, you can also continue writing in sections. And at the bottom here, you can also turn on source selection. And what this will do is whilst you write or whilst you add on to a section, it'll answer this, will go ahead, it'll look at the context of what you've written about and the paper that you've got so far. It will look at the highlighted section, and then it will add on writing as well as sources whilst it writes in order to add on to your paper. This is like nothing ever seen before, since AnswerThis automatically inserts the citations and finds papers whilst it's writing, which is incredibly handy for your work. And yeah, in conclusion, conducting research is a really step-by-step process that still requires your critical thinking and creative process, as well as putting in your own tonality and genuine originality into your research work. But tools like AnswerThis can help you streamline and strengthen at each stage of the research process, as we've just seen, from identifying gaps to refining your writing. It supports and not replaces, and that's really important to take note of, your academic work. And as you can see from the image below, we also have these custom tools that you can make yourself, such as the empathy tool, which is a 7-step process for peer reviews, and it's actually available for anyone to use, and the research gap finder, and so much more there. So yeah, this is the first half of the webinar. We're going to dive into a demo now, but thank you so much for watching the presentation bit of this webinar, and stay tuned as we go into the demo here.
Ryan, shall we take questions, like if anyone have a question before we're starting with the demo?
Sure, yeah, that's a great idea.
Because I can see a few has written the screen was not being shared and all. Is it visible to all, that screen?
I believe it should be shared. We've done this
Yes,
webinar through
it's
this
visible.
platform.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've done this webinar on the platform. Yeah, we're seeing this is okay. Yeah, you may need to restart the webinar if you're not seeing it, or download the app on mobile. This is the best way in order to see this screen. Sometimes it'll just be a hardware issue. I see Dr. Paramasivam is having this issue. Yeah, please try restarting and see if that helps. If not, let us know, and maybe we can try and help you out further. Awesome. Yeah, feel free to send in any questions that you may have into the Q&A section. Also, feel free to sign up to AnswerThis through the link that's put into the chat. It's very important that you go for this link, as it ensures that we can send you a certificate after the webinar.
Yes,
yeah.
Ryan, I can see if you have raised their hands. I think they have a question. So first of all, Dr. Yogita Parihar. She has a question, I think. Sahil and Dalhi.
Okay. I'll invite them to talk.
If you have any questions, so you can just put in the chat section so that he can answer. So the first question is, what is the main element or the standout feature for this AI?
Yeah.
By one
That's a great question. So although there isn't one single standout feature, as we've seen, AnswerThis really does help from research gaps all the way up to writing and making the finishing touches on your paper. But the main, I guess, feature would be our prompt bar, and we'll go into a little bit of what the main feature looks like in AnswerThis soon in the demo. But that's a great question, and the short answer is there isn't really one specific feature. But the long answer is wait till the demo, and we'll really get into the AnswerThis features. The recording of this video will be sent out to everyone afterwards, as well as the PowerPoint. So keep an eye on your emails. That'll all be sent through. Is it considered plagiarism? So no, it's not fully considered plagiarism as long as you follow the steps to make it or add in your own originality. So when you draft the literature review and AnswerThis, it'll give you the sources. It'll extract lines out of that, and I'll be able to cite them as well. So that makes sure that it doesn't actually go into plagiarism. But in order to fully make a research paper or fully make a literature review, you do want to edit it and add in a little bit of your own tonality, change the wording and follow the research so it's really yours and it's not something that AI has just created. But also AnswerThis will help a lot in making a powerful first draft, which in many cases will look like it's ready to publish, but you got to make sure that you put in your own work into that as well. What are the risks of plagiarism and AI over dependence, and how can researchers avoid them? So that's a great question, and honestly, a lot of people even get flagged for literature reviews and essays that they haven't even put AI into, just because AI detectors will automatically detect them. To this, there's a few things that you can do. One, you can go to things like GPT-0, 0GPT, or Turnitin, and you'll be able to check for plagiarism and AI detection there. And then also AnswerThis mini tools will also help in assisting you with making your work verifiable to publish, or good enough where it doesn't have any plagiarism. Name of this AI. So you can find this AI inside the link I just put into the chat. I think it went in there. Please click through there, sign up for free. We're just about to dive in to the demo session here. I'm just gonna whip up AnswerThis, and yeah, we'll get started. Alrighty. Was visible, perfect. All right. Okay, so feel free to keep on putting in any questions you may have into the Q&A section. I'm gonna start showing AnswerThis here, so make sure to click the link in order to sign up to AnswerThis and receive your certificate at the end, as well as follow along. You should all have 5 free credits within your account, so you will be able to follow along for a good part of this demo. Okay, so here's AnswerThis, and yeah, this is what it looks like when you just sign in to the tool. Someone asked me what is the main feature of AnswerThis. To many, they will say it is this prompt bar right here, and it's for good reason, because there's so much that you can do. First thing that you should be aware of when you look at this prompt bar is the prompt helper. So just on here, if we click on prompt helper, we can then click on select the tool, and from here we can write a literature review, we can perform quantitative analysis, maybe on a certain topic, we can identify literature gaps, So research gaps, and then it can be related to whatever we put in here. We can generate research outlines, we can generate research proposals, generate research topics. We can do a lot from here. And let's just start off by saying write a literature review on, and then we can say something just like atomic structures. And then just like that, we'll be able to have our first little prompt in here. Now, an important note is if you want more sources and you want a more broad overview of your field, then keep your queries broad like this. But if you want something more specific, if you want to find niched papers, but maybe get a little less papers, be specific on what you actually want and tell it exactly, what field you're studying or exactly what you want, and it'll be able to identify those correct papers. So the next thing we want to be aware of is on the bottom left, we see this auto bin. If we click here, we see three options: auto, full review, quick Q&A. Autos are classic AI model. If you use this, it'll run like a much, much better GPT, where it'll quickly answer your question and give you lots of great citation back answers. However, if we want to go a little bit more academic, we can use the quick Q&A section. This is great for, finding research gaps quickly, maybe, drafting up research proposals or ideating with the tool, but a lot more in depth and a lot more specific answers. But it will take slightly longer. And then finally, we have the full review. This is the most powerful AI tool that we have. However, it will take maybe a minute to load when we select full review. However, it's going to give us a super comprehensive answer, line by line citations, lots of sources, definitely worth the wait if we're trying to draft up maybe a thesis statement, a literature review. It's great for all of those things. So I'm actually going to go ahead and press full review. We're going to see what AnswerThis can fully do. I'm also going to press the Pro. This is going to be slightly slower and more comprehensive. And also, it's only available for Pro users. Everyone will be able to use the Lite, and it's super powerful as well. And then in the more filters section on the right here, we're able to change the minimum amount of citations that papers use. Since we want to just find lots of good papers, we're going to set this at 0 for now, but we can increase this in order to find papers with lots of citations. Next, we can change databases. So as we can see right beside research papers, we see choose databases. This allows us to pick from these 4 open databases: PubMed, ArcSave, OpenAlex, Semantic Scholar, whatever we need the pull sources from. So we can select all 4 if we really want to see every paper that exists. For now, I'm just going to keep it at Semantic Scholar and OpenAlex. Should do a great job. We can also go in the web search. We can use all websites. We can use just government or just EDU websites. Super powerful if we want to, find something maybe a little bit more niche or something that only exists on the internet. We can put it in there. A fun fact actually is that AnswerThis updates our research database as well as our web database every single day. So you'll be able to get the exact up-to-date sources from literally yesterday if you need it. Next, we have journal qualities. Q1 being the highest quality journal, Q4 being the lowest. Of course, it's going to matter a lot more when we niche down into a subject. For now, we're just going to keep this at all journal qualities. And then the last thing that we can filter in here is publication start and end date. So if we only want to see recent publications, we can maybe set this to like 2020. Or maybe if we want to see more base papers or foundational papers in our field, we can set the end date to maybe like 2000 and find those key 1900 papers. But for now, I think all of this looks good. I'm going to split search, and yeah, we'll be able to see what AnswerThis can do. If you're following along, feel free to throw in whatever prompt in there, and you can see AnswerThis work for itself. Every filter I've used for this paper is absolutely free and that you can use right now. So yeah, feel free to maybe put in your first little experimental question and AnswerThis and see what it can do. This is quite a new feature, and it's very neat. You can actually see what AnswerThis is doing in real time. And in just a few seconds, it'll also start giving us an outline of what it's thinking. And there we go. So you can sort of read through a little bit of what AnswerThis is sort of gathering together as it's thinking about how to answer this question. Of course, this isn't what the full answer is actually going to be like, but it is a scaffolding into the literature review that it will be making. So we'll give it a little bit of time here. As I said, I did use the full review model, so this will take slightly longer, but if we want instant results, we can use just the auto version, or if we want something that doesn't last as long, but is still super helpful, gives us amazing sources, we can use that Q&A tool as well. So let's give it a few more seconds here. We can see it building this outline for the literature review. You can see how much it's really doing here. Seems as if it's brought in a lot of sources. We can see 21, 22, 25 sources. Wow. Yeah, we'll see how many sources this brings. But it's the quality of the source that matters. So we'll definitely have to look into that. It should just be another few seconds here.
Ryan, I have one question. The literature review which you are showing, I can see the resources there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I click onto this, are they genuine resources? Because when we use ChatGPT also, so we don't get it's a fake one. So what is the accuracy of these resources?
Yeah, it's a great question. So when we click on it right now, nothing will happen. But in a few seconds, when this is loaded, we'll be able to see the sources on the right and read into it a little bit more. And it definitely differs with ChatGPT. Definitely in the structure that you even see the sources. Not one's going to be GPT can't actually pull accurate research papers and sources like this. You know, we have I think over 25 sources listed here on just the scaffolding, and ChatGPT at max is only going to give really 3 decent sources, and even then, the actual pulling from it can have a lot of hallucinations in the process. So that's why you can never actually fully use GPT for an academic answer like this. And yeah, let's see, it should be finished in just a second here. Let's see. We open it up. Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. So yeah, just like this. So you've got your full answer on the left-hand side, and then you've got all your sources on the right-hand side. So that was the full literature review tool. As you can see, it took a little bit of time, but we can see why on the left-hand side here. So starts off with definition and importance. We can see it's used this source. We can click on it. I'll open up the abstract and they'll show us on the right hand side here. This is a paper, 30 citations. And then of course, it goes into a little bit about why it's picked the source. We can read through, we can look at the historical context. I talked about atomic structures, and so it's giving me some Dalton's atomic theory. If we keep on going down here, we can see some of the technology that they originally used when researching atomic structures, and we can really get a good idea of atomic structures just by reading this alone. And as you can see, we've only got to the end of the historical context, and we've already got 4 citations here, and we can see these sources on the right hand side. So if we keep on scrolling through, we see methods for determining atomic structures. We can see these different methods that are used. If we keep on scrolling down, we see grain boundaries, atomic structure of carbon allotropes. That goes into C60. And if you read any part of these texts, you can see that, you know, this isn't just AI fluff. This is proper information that we can genuinely use in our academic studies. With GPT, you know, we'll get a lot of words that just don't mean anything and are just there to be there. But with AnswerThis, you can see that each word is written with purpose and is genuinely adding something extra to the literature review. And as we keep on scrolling down, this just becomes more and more clear. As you can see, we've got line-by-line citations. As we continue to scroll through, now we're looking at atomic simulation and modeling, and we can keep on scrolling through this massive literature review with so many sources. And if we scroll to the bottom, and that's a lot, we've got future outlook to finish off as well. If we scroll to the bottom, we can see 25 sources were used. And if we scroll just above those sources, we can see that we can actually change the citations that were used into 2,681 different citation styles. And of course, we've got all the popular ones here as well. So we can click APA. And as you can see, all the citations on the left-hand and right-hand side have been changed. If we click on any of these citations, this one from 1994, so it's probably a base study that's really important for this niche, but you can see it scrolls right to that paper. We can save this to our library from here if we wish. We can also refine the citation if we want to change it just a little bit more. And then we can also read the abstract as well. So actually,
Also,
yeah.
Ryan, can we filter out the recent resources also? Like, I don't want the old one. Like,
Yeah, great question. So if we just want to filter by recent, we can say sort by date here. And as you can see, all the old ones are coming up first. And if we scroll to the bottom, we can go through and as we can see, we're getting to 2014, 2018, and we can keep on going. Oh, yeah, we can keep on going to find more recent sources, these being from 2022. You see here, yeah. And then we can also put this to 100. So one thing that you may have noticed here, you might have been like, well, there's only 25 citations noted in the actual paper itself. And there's, what does it say here? I believe that there's over 200 papers found. Yeah, there's 200 papers found on the right-hand side. So, you know, how can those two things be true? Well, what AnswerThis actually does is it finds the 25 papers that are most relevant for the study that you're talking about. In this case, we can go through to the bottom here, and we can see all these papers already listed out for us. But if we want to find more related papers and really expand our understanding of the space, we can go to the right-hand side here, and we can read these related papers to our question as well. And, you know, I don't know if anyone's in the physics or chemistry here where they work with atomic particles, but I know quantum mechanics is a really good subject to dive into when we're talking about atomic structures and what that means. And so we can really expand of which direction we want our paper to go from here as well. And also an important note, at the very bottom of the paper, we find all these really cool buttons as well. One is we can edit with AI, just as we've seen earlier in the presentation before. We can click this button and open up that AI editing screen. And we can also share this privately with our peers. And we can also share this publicly if we want to do that as well. And then we can also download this PDF, download this docx, LaTeX, and Markdown as well. And of course, if we ever want to, you know, go a little bit more niche, maybe I've seen that quantum mechanics paper and I wanted to ask a follow-up question, which goes a little bit more into quantum mechanics. I can actually type in my follow-up question here. And if I really needed to, I can also change the filters as well and maybe add in other databases and see if I can add in even more papers to this and find out even more information. The next thing I want to show you here on this right-hand side where all the papers are, If we put this back down to 10, we can actually expand this view. We can put this in the table view, just like this. And as you can see, we have all our sources on the left here, just as we've seen them before. We also have this relevant extracts section as well, which is an extract. The answer to this is automatically pulled out from the paper in order to sort of show us what part of this paper was helpful in order to make this literature review. We can read through this if we wish. But what's really cool, for me at least, is this little create column on the right-hand side. So from here, we can extract any information we want from any paper here. So we can ask it a prompt. We can tell it to pull out a certain piece of data that we wanted to pull out from these papers, or we can select one of the pre-made options here, such as key findings, research gaps, which is actually we've seen earlier, methodology limitations, so much great stuff here. So if I just press research gaps, in just a few seconds, we'll be able to see the research gaps appear, just like that. We can go ahead, we can read each research gap in according to the paper that it is made for. And actually, if we go out of this into list view again, we can actually export this table that we just made into a CSV or a bid text that we can put into our Zotero or Mendeley if we wish, but we can also export it into CSV as well. And whilst we're on this page, a super neat feature of AnswerThis is bibliometric analysis. So if we select multiple papers, just as we selected all, we can then go to bibliometric analysis by pressing this button here. And what this is going to do, it's going to give us a bunch of graphs showing us publications by year, citations by year, what words were used the most. And as we can see, we can actually dive into this right now. So of course, I was talking about atomic structures, and so it makes sense that there's not really ever just one year that stands out. Apart from citations by year, which is pretty interesting, we can see that there's 42,000 citations in 2009. So this could be something interesting that we could explore a little bit more based on this bibliometric analysis. And we also see that same trend appear in publications and citations combined. As you can see, here are the word clouds, atomic structure, thing number one here, as we'd expect. And then we can also see average citations for publication by year, as well as and this is one of my favorite bits, the top offers, offer impacts, and then also top offers here. This is really handy when you're trying to explore space and see which offers you should take note of. And then, of course, you can see the top terms here as well. And then for any of these graphs, we can download them. We can even add them to our papers if we find think it's going to be helpful for our papers. And yeah, this is bibliometric analysis. And then, yeah, the last thing I want to show here is that with any of these PDF available options, we can actually select it, or if we want, we can select multiple. And with this, we can say chat was selected. And this is going to allow us to chat with our PDF. So we can do this with any PDF we have on our computer. We can just upload it and then chat to it immediately. Or we can do this, as you just saw, with any paper that AnswerThis gives us, as long as the PDF is listed as available. And as you can see on the left-hand side, we have this full paper that we can scroll down. On the right-hand side, we have a ChatGPT-like interface. And I can just ask this anything about the paper. I can say to it, let's see, maybe we should ask it the applications. So I can say, what are the applications from this paper? I'll send in the prompt. And the coolest thing about this, so before we seen when we clicked on a citation, it'll bring us to the paper. and that's really handy for literature review. Obviously, we want to see where the source came from. But as you see, with Chat with PDF, when the answer loads, when we click on a citation, since we already have the paper here, it doesn't make sense for it to pull up a paper. It's actually going to bring us to the exact line that extracted the information from. And in just a few seconds, we'll see what that looks like. And then, yeah, whilst this is loading, feel free to type any questions you may have into the Q&A section. We're going to spend about 10 minutes and a bit going over your questions and what you may have here. We haven't got too much time left, so feel free to throw those questions in now. And as you can see, I did ask a pretty general question. I said, what are the applications from this paper? This is a massive paper, so of course we got quite the response, but I do believe that's going to go through every application that this paper mentions. So as we can see, we have bullet points of the different types of structures, it seems, that this paper's pulled out. And I don't know an immense amount of atomic structures, but I'm sure if you're in this space, this is wildly helpful and you can see how useful this is. But if we click on any of these citations, on the left-hand side, as you can see, it scrolls down to where I got it from. And as you can see, this whole section is highlighted. If we scroll down to another citation, we can click here. And as you can see on the left-hand side, it'll scroll to that exact part where it pulled out that data from. So super powerful when we want to get deep insights from our paper. And of course, we can add in multiple papers into this. And you can imagine how powerful this tool can be with maybe 10 papers inserted into here. Another cool thing is, I don't know if this paper has any tables, but you can also ask it to make a table of data that, from the paper. And it does it with absolute precision. In fact, even research labs are using this exact tool to pull data from their papers that they can use inside of their labs. So that's just to say that this is a super accurate tool that you should take advantage of. And I know we're running short on time, so I just want to briefly show you the rest of what AnswerThis can offer. And this is the AI editor that we had seen from last time. This is what the sources look like when it's inside of the AI editor. If we click on any of these, we can see the abstract right away. We can generate outlines, as we had seen from before, as well as do any of our AI editing here. And one thing that we weren't able to see last time, which I'll quickly show now, is if we have papers in our library, we can go ahead, we can pull them up, we can add citations directly from here, and then just continue typing into our research, use AI editor, and all of that good stuff. And if we don't have any papers that we can add into here, we can simply go to search papers, put in a short prompt or a few keywords, and then you'll be able to find the exact paper you need. Next is the library. This is your own personal library where you can add papers in, as we had seen before. We can also connect Citero and Mendeley into here, so we can just import papers directly from there, as well as export the papers we find in AnswerThis to those libraries. And we can also make projects where each one of our libraries can live on. Next, here's the citation maps. As I mentioned before, we're able to put any paper in as origins. As we can see, I have 2 origin papers here. We can go in, we can see that there are 209 papers that are connected. Within those 209 papers, we can see the most cited papers. So we can see one that has 3,006 citations. We can also see the most connected papers, and as well as the top contributing authors inside of this space. We can also go ahead and make diagrams. I can say make a simple input, output flowchart. And I'll have this load whilst I explain, but we can select any of these diagrams or charts or pie charts or mind maps. We can create them simply by putting in a prompt. and then select generate. It'll create something like this. If we want it to be more complex, we can update our prompt directly from here, as well as download this as well. And finally, here's the custom tools section. You'll find that there are automatically custom tools already made here for you, such as that peer review tool that I was talking about earlier, research gap finder, where you can just instantly find research gaps, as well as naturalizer, where this is super helpful for trying to bypass GPT. Of course, it's going to help you. It's not going to do all the work for you, but naturalizer is really good for that as well. And finally, you have teams, where if you're making projects, you want to share libraries, you want to share answers, you want to share papers with each other. You can make a team right in here. And then once you make the team, you can go ahead and invite people as well. So that is all of AnswerThis. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. I hope you're able to find that super helpful for your research. All of this is recorded, so if there's any point in there where you're like, oh, that's cool, but I want to find out a little bit more information, you can always come back to this, as well as ask any questions that you may have right now.
Yes, Ryan, can you show one more feature, how to create diagrams and the flow chart using this?
Yeah, let me just pull that up again. Awesome. So yeah, to make a diagram, I just want to go to this diagram tool right here. From here, we can select any type of diagram that we want to. In this case, we'll just select flowchart. And let's go for a more complex one this time. I'll say make it complex, and we'll just go input, output system for Python scripts. And we can select generate. And then on the right-hand side, we've seen a pretty simple flowchart here. This time, I suspect we're going to have a really complex flowchart, but we'll see here. Okay, there we go. So this is another flowchart. This is what this one looks like. As you can see, it's a lot more complex. But you know, we can be a little bit more specific with our prompt. If we wanted to make a, you know, an input-output system with different functionalities in it, we can specify those functionalities and they'll put it in here. And if we're not happy with the wording, say we didn't like validate input, we can find validate input here, and we can actually change the wording and just say, instead of validate, maybe we can say make sure input is correct. We can save changes. And just like that, we can see that our updated text has went through. And then we can also say, make this more simplified. And we can rerun our prompt and add in this little revision. And then just a few seconds, should come through. So there you go. Slightly more simplified, but we can keep on asking it until we get exactly what we need. In fact, I don't think it actually updated the content. Oh, never mind. But yeah, this is the diagram tool. And yeah, so you find this helpful?
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. So we'll take a few questions. One of the questions is, what is the limitation of this AI tool? Because we can see there are many AI tools, and there is, for everything there is a dedicated tool. But I can see in this AnswerThis, you can have all the features which we can see in each individual tool. So I think, but again, there will be some limitation. So what is the limitation?
Yeah, so just like you said, compared to other tools, normally other tools, Google Scholar, GPT, or even like some more niche research tools, they only cover one part of the research workflow. This is where we sort of disagreed with that, and we wanted to make a tool that can genuinely be helpful for each stage of a researcher's journey, and throughout their entire workflow. So the limitations are going to be, ones that are just not going to be replaceable by humans, and that's going to be, creating studies and making experiments, surveys, groups for research, as well as creatively coming up of what direction you want your research to go, what you actually want your research to achieve at the end of it, how you want to go about your research. All of these things are for you to creatively think about, and come up with and get excited about. But AnswerThis is there to make all that hard tasks, like finding the right papers, drafting up literature reviews, finding research gaps, helping you in decision making throughout this whole process. We're here to help you do the manual parts of your research that you didn't want to do anyways, and do it with more quality and speed than top PhD and candidates and top researchers can do. So yeah, hopefully that helps answer the question there.
Yeah. If anyone has a question, so please post your question in Q&A section.
Perfect. Let's see here. Does AnswerThis AI bypass AI detectors? So the actual answers that AnswerThis produces, we haven't tested that against AI detectors. We do have a naturalizer tool, which helps go against AI detectors. However, we do caution people because, academic writing at the end of the day is yours. You want it to have your own originality. But if you believe all of that is true for your writing, and maybe you wrote the paper yourself and you just wanted to get it through, then you can use the naturalizer tool. You can find that in the custom tools, and it'll be super helpful for you. Is research paper sources limited? Are major databases linked like Scopus, IE, and World of Science? Yes, all of these are linked. Although they're not linked directly, we pull papers from these three sites all the time. In fact, if I went to my answer, I could probably find a few sources that are from IE or World of Science or Scopus. So although it only shows those four databases, those four databases include Scopus, IE, and World of Science as well. And we're actually adding another database into our system pretty soon too. Very fast presentation. Please provide the recorded video to do practice. Yes, we'll do. That'll be sent out to your email. And also, yeah, for anyone who's come in a little bit late during this webinar session, or for people who've had to leave and come back, the recorded session will be sent to your email. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Is this for free or I have to pay? This is free for 5 uses. So most of the demo that you've just seen, you can actually use that for free. But when it comes to AI editor or citation map or making diagrams, these will be paid tools, and also the pro search of AnswerThis as well, which we didn't show, but we'll make it even more comprehensive and add even more to your literature review. Can we get a user manual of AnswerThis? This is going to be your best guide of AnswerThis. I do recommend watching the video back after recording sent out. To be honest, I find your AI quite helpful. Cheers. Yep, I'm very glad. Thank you. I'm very, very glad. And a humanized feature. Yep, I'm through that. Could it be helpful for comparing research outcomes with existing research? That is a really good question. To this, I'll have a few answers because there's a few ways you can go about comparing research outcomes with existing research. One thing that you can do if you just want a quick answer and you don't have anything in your research topic before, you can simply just ask AnswerThis inside the prompt tool, to give research outcomes and then contrast that against existing research. But if you already have research outcomes that you maybe have in a paper that's saved on your laptop, you can either upload that to your library or you can upload that directly to AnswerThis's prompt engine and use it with a prompt and compare it with existing research in order to get a full answer to that question. I really hope that helps, please let me know. And yeah, I don't see any more questions. I see that we have just went over time there. Thank you, Dr. Princey and Dr. Nahesh for putting in the links into the chat as well. Unless there's any other questions, I think we might be good here.
Yeah, I think there are no more questions.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ryan. It was a great webinar. So to all the participants, I have sent a link that is the feedback link. So you can just fill the form because that is mandatory to get the certificate. So I will be sending this link to WhatsApp group also. So as soon as you fill the form, you will get the certificate also. So if you have, and also Ryan has sent the link of this AnswerThis tool. So that is a free subscription for 7 days. If you want it more, you can contact him and contact me or Nitesh. So we'll get back to you regarding the license and about the subscription.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's a great note. Before anyone leaves, please make sure to go to the Google Forms. I also just put a link there too. But it's very, very important that you fill this out. One, in order to receive your certificate, and two, if you fill it out, we'll also be able to help you more as well. So, yeah, no, excellent point. And thank you so much again for hosting this webinar. It really does mean a lot to us, and also we really hope that we're genuinely able to help with research today and show how you can advance your research. At the end of the day, it's all about helping researchers and generally providing value. So I thank you very, very much for hosting this.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Ryan. So we'll again have these kind of webinars, the dedicated webinars like to each topic. So we'll take the feedback from the participants if they need anything extra. So we'll have those webinars in the future.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. Perfect. And just before I leave, I'm just going to quickly throw in the WhatsApp group as well there. But
Ryan, is there a subscription for this particular tool? How exactly we can go if there is a subscription for this?
So there is a subscription for this tool. However, you will be able to use the tool for free, up to 5 credits. So that's for literature review. You can use chat with PDF, and you can also use bibliometric analysis as well as all the other tools within there, like extract data, for completely free. But when it comes to unlimited searches, AI writing, creating your custom tools, making diagrams, citation maps, these all come under the Pro plan. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So before ending this, I just want to thank Purnima University also. He was our academic partner, and Udit Momodia sir for conducting this webinar. So hopefully we'll be conducting this webinar with other universities also. So thank you so much, Udit sir, and thank you, Purnima University.
Perfect. Alrighty, thank you so much again. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good one.
Yeah,
thank you.